Hello, it is I with my green bags in the back. Just did the groceries. Perfect opportunity for a video. Sometimes we need to be willing as parents, educators, carers, family, friends, to sit with the discomfort of having our children have a meltdown. Sometimes we will have to sit with the discomfort of allowing our children the space to move through their meltdown however they need to. A meltdown, just the word meltdown has so much stigma attached to it. Like it's a really horrible thing. We never want to get there. And the thing is, it's not a nice experience for us. It's not a good experience to have a meltdown as an autistic person. However, sometimes it's unavoidable and it's inevitable because when we're children, we are still going to have boundaries in our lives. So in our home, with our children, some of them are demand avoidant. So we have a negotiables and a non-negotiables list. We sit down together at the table, their father and I, and we make sure we're on the same page with what is okay and what isn't. And this will change all of the time. Things like being violent toward our siblings is a non-negotiable. We just don't have space for that in our home. So when that happens, the child will have a consequence. And when I say consequence, I don't mean an imposed punishment. We don't take things away. We don't raise our voice. We don't react with anger. We respond with love and kindness and compassion because we understand what it is for people to not be happy with us. We understand what it is to be struggling. We understand what it is to need to have space to have a meltdown when we've been told no. So the goal is not always to avoid meltdowns. And I know that's really difficult to hear. But the reality is us autistic people have huge feelings and sometimes as children very little capacity to deal with them. So all our lives we have huge emotional responses to our environments, and the way that we cope with our huge emotions is to use different strategies and physical expressions and movements to regulate those emotions. Now, that will look different for all of us as well. But that means that often our huge emotional responses will lead to a meltdown, even when we've avoided triggers, even when we've used lots of different strategies, even when we've been gentle in our approaches. This is what separates autistic people from non-autistic people, having huge emotional responses and commonly having meltdowns. So sometimes it's important to remember that we do the best we can. We try all the things we know to try, but there are always going to be times where our children will have meltdowns, and that's okay. It's okay. It's an important mechanism, an organic, inherent, innate way of regulating for the autistic person. And now I'm going to go and put my groceries away. Isn't that the worst thing in the world to do? Oh, wow. Have a great Thursday afternoon.